Good morning, and welcome back to the homestead. So today is a big day here. It's May 13th, and today's the day we're going to put all the rest of the garden plants out because the weather finally turned here in Ohio, and going to be warm, like 70s during the day and 50s at night for clear into June. So we're good now, but it's been horrible. It's been freezing, and all the cold weather plants even needed to be somewhat protected. So anyway, we're past that. But we have another project also besides getting all the garden in. We got our first batch of compost worms coming from Jersey Worms this morning. They're out for delivery, and I got to get the worm bed ready. So I already started. I got one worm bed going of Canadian Nightcrawlers, which many people claim you can't do that. That Canadian Nightcrawlers really can't be raised. They have to be just picked and sold as bait. They're not great composters, but I'm trying a little experiment. I got one worm bed and they're doing fine. I put 24 in, and there's probably about I already spotted like a dozen babies, so they are reproducing in there. But the weather's been cool enough for them, so we'll see if they make out here when it gets warm. But what I have coming are European night crawlers, much more weather tolerant to temperature ranges, cold and warm, and they're great composters, almost as good as the little red wigglers. So I've got 250 the European night crawlers coming from Jersey Worms, and I got another 250 that, according to the tracking, should be here tomorrow. They're from a place in Colorado, I think. I'll have to check where they're from. But anyway, I got to get a bed ready because Jersey Worms are out for delivery and should be here within the next half hour or so. So we're gonna go get this tote done, and I'll show you here what I'm doing. Okay, so I had a bunch of totes that I used for other things that were available. This was a clear plastic tote, and I painted it purple just because I happen to have a big can of purple spray paint, and they don't like the light, so they only come to the surface to eat and to breed in the dark. That's why they call them night crawlers. So I thought better if I paint it so that it's got a solid white plastic lid goes on it, and with the lid on it, it'll be darker in there for them, and they'll come to the surface and breed more and reproduce more, which is all good. So that's why I did that. And if you have a tote that's the solid colors, my other tote's like solid black, so it's okay. But anyway, and then I got a dark gray or a solid green one too. So like I said, I got a bunch of totes here, and as they reproduce and multiply, we'll split them up and put them in more totes. So we're gonna go get this one ready. I'll show you here in a minute what I'm doing. Okay, so step one. Underneath this pile of straw that I've been using for my roofed out gardens, there was a pile of wood chips that have been decomposing for about 4 years. And you can see an open area here that I've moved straw and taken some of that black decomposed composted wood chips. I used some of that to fill the herb gardens that are like planters, and I used it for to mix in with potting soil for seed starters in my cabinet, my grow light cabinet, to start my garden vegetables this spring. So I've used some, and if I move some of that straw, there's more good black dirt under there. So we're going to start out with some of that in the bottom of the worm bin. Okay, so I actually, as I move some of that straw, there's some good partially decomposed straw there on the bottom. That's kind of good stuff too. So I put a little of that in first, down in the very, very bottom. And it's good and wet and partially decomposed, and I think they'll like that down there in the bottom. So then, now dirt on top of that. All right. So there's some dirt on top of that partially decomposed straw. And now we're going to head for the compost bin. Okay, so this is pretty well composted kitchen waste and coffee grounds and a mixture of stuff. And it's only partially decomposed. I mixed it in. There's some stuff we just put in there fresh. You can see some greens sticking up that were mixed in. So I'll kind of mix or separate any of the stuff that's still needs to go a while. But anyway, there's all kinds of kitchen scraps and stuff decomposed in there, or partially decomposed. So we'll add that on top of the dirt next. All right, and there were actually some potatoes in there that had gotten kind of mushy. They were in with my seed potatoes and kind of half rotted, and I didn't have room to plant everything, so I had to put them in compost. So I went ahead and added those potatoes in here. I think the worms will like those as a little snack. Okay, on to the next. Okay, and lastly, I had bagged a bunch of mulched up leaves last fall. So they've been in these black bags for 6 months or so, and we're going to put, they're kind of leaf mold now, so we're going to put that as a top layer to kind of help hold some moisture in the bin. I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay, that ought to do it. And I got a hunch my worms are sitting in the mailbox. I thought she'd pull in by now and deliver. I haven't seen her, and usually mail's here by now, so I bet she just stuck them in the mailbox. Luckily it's in the shade down there at the bottom of the drive, so we'll go down there and see what we find. Well, nope. So hopefully she'll come soon. Okay, so we're back here in the shop. There's my bin of Canadians. I put them in there April 21st. As I said, this is May 13th, so they've been in there about 3 weeks. So far, doing well. Oh, and as you see, I drilled air holes in the lid for both of the boxes. You don't want too many, so you hold in moisture, but you need to let like ammonia and some evaporation and some air for the wormies. A lot of people drill holes around the top rim of the box below the lid, which I may end up doing yet. Not sure. But anyway, I'll let you know when the wormies get here. There she is. Okay, there they are. I walked up to the mail lady's truck and said, "Oh, you got my wormies." She said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, those are live worms." And she said, "Ew!" Well, you'll have another box tomorrow. All right, let's get them opened up. All right, there's the bag of them. We'll see how they're doing. Well, the bag bedding and all weighs a little over 18 and a half ounces. I question if there's a pound of worms in there. Well, this one says 250. They don't claim a pound. 250 Nightcrawlers. The other ones I have ordered, there's about 250 to a pound. And the other one specifies 1 pound. This one specifies 250. So, okay, we'll dump them in and see how they're doing. Well, I see some movement. They're a little dormant. We'll see if they all go down. Well, they all look pretty good. Most of them are either part way down in, or that guy out there, he's up here taking a bow, but he's lively and fine. and everybody else is either in or started in. So, I think they all made it okay. I'm going to get them some food here. I'm sure they're hungry. Alright, so I'm going to start them off with some turnip greens. And they have those potatoes in there too. We'll put some turnip greens over here on the end. See if they eat those up. Okay, tomorrow we'll put another 250 in there. Be 500 in this bin. I'll see you then. Good morning. We're back again. So these next 250 euros, European Nightcrawlers, are coming from a place called Worms Etc. in Conway, I believe it was, Missouri. Now, they shipped Monday. Now, this isn't their fault, but they shipped Monday. This is Thursday, and they finally just arrived at my post office at 11 o'clock, which means they got there too late to go out on the truck for delivery today. But they are at the post office, so they would have come tomorrow, which would have been 5 days in shipping. Not acceptable. And again, not Worms Etc.'s fault. But what it tells me is with the tracking that the post office does, they went from Missouri, they ended up in Cleveland, Ohio, then they went to Canton, Ohio, which is 18 miles from here. Then they went back to Akron, which is 40 miles from here. And then they came from Akron back to Strasburg, where I live today, this morning. But again, they didn't get there till 11:02 or something. And so they wouldn't have been on the truck coming out today because she comes about 10:30. So anyway, we're going to go get them. I'll be back. Alright, so not only did the post office have it so long, but they played football with it on its way here. Again, not the fault of Worms Etc. But I do like the way they packed them. We'll see if there's damaged worms or dead worms when we get home. Hopefully we're alright. Be back. Alright, so I like the way they package. That the bag was in the box, surrounded by the shredded cardboard. And we'll just make that future bedding, or part of bedding. Anyway, so I'm about to open them up. Yeah, so this is supposed to be 1 pound of European Nightcrawlers. I dumped a lot of the bedding out. All that bedding came out of that bag. There's still some bedding in there, but there's 26 ounces of worms. So I definitely got my money's worth. We'll see how lively they are. Yeah, we got a lot of movement. Got a lot aren't moving too. Yeah, I don't know. I think we lost a lot of them. We'll see how many get down. There's more of them starting to move around. I think we are okay. One thing that I noticed right off the bat, these are not near as big as Jersey worms, European Nightcrawlers. They're just younger. I mean, they're going to grow up and be fine, but they're a lot smaller. But I think I got a lot more of them. See if I can grab one here. And see, I don't think I even have the band yet for breeding. Yeah, they do. They are banded. But they're not as big. But that's okay. They'll grow. And I think I got a little bit more bang for my buck, number-wise, Oh, I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but it was maybe $2 more for a whole pound versus 250, which they claim there's 250 in a pound, but the ones I weighed yesterday that were 250 were just over a pound with some bedding included, so I don't think there was quite a pound. I don't doubt there was 250, which is how they were marketed, which is fine. But anyway, I think there were quite a few more than 250 in this pound here from Worms, etc. But the issue is it just takes so long for the post office to ship them from Missouri. I don't know that I'm going to do that again. So, anyway, so there's 500 Nightcrawlers in this bin, and I'm going to give them a month or so to do some breeding and make some cocoons, and then I'm going to divide it into smaller bins. And I'm going to do 250 to a bin, and well, you'll see all that when the time comes. So, we're in the worm business. At least the beginning of it. I'll see you next video. Hey, thanks for watching the videos. If you like the video, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm out of here.